It starts with a push. The world is a tight cave of muscle. Then there is a slide. The cub moves from the wet dark into the dry dark. It is a small weight on the floor of the den. The heat is the first thing. It is a heavy heat. It comes from the wall of fur that rises beside the cub. The cub is the size of a squirrel. The mother is a mountain. The cub feels the first pull of the world. Gravity is a new thing. It pulls at the damp fur. It pulls at the soft bones. The cub is a pink thing in the shadows. It cannot see. It can only feel. The floor is dry dirt. The dirt smells of old roots. It smells of the earth that has been tucked away for months. The smell is thick. It is the smell of a tomb that is full of life. The mother is deep in her sleep. She does not wake. Her body is a furnace. The cub feels the heat of her skin through the thick guard hairs. The heat is a pulse. It is a steady force that keeps the winter away. Outside the den, the ice is hard. The wind screams over the rocks. Inside the den, there is only the heat. The cub moves. It is a blind crawl. It pushes against the dirt. The cub feels the mass of the mother. She is a vast landscape of bone and fat. Her breathing is the rhythm of the room. It is a slow swell. The mother's ribs expand with a heavy groan. The sound is like the earth shifting. Then the air leaves her lungs. It is a long hiss. The cub is lifted by the rise of her chest. Then the cub is lowered. The rhythm is slow. It is the clock of the winter. The cub finds the fur. The fur is a forest. It is coarse and smells of musk. It smells of the pine needles from the autumn. The cub pushes its nose into the hair. The heat is stronger here. The skin is a soft drum underneath the fur. The cub can hear the heartbeat. It is a slow thud. It is the sound of a giant heart that beats only a few times a minute. The sound fills the cub's head. It is the first music. The cub is hungry. The hunger is a sharp thing. It is a small fire in the belly. The cub crawls higher. It uses tiny claws to find a grip. The mother moves in her sleep. She does not open her eyes. She shifts her weight. The shift is like an avalanche. The cub is pressed into the dirt for a moment. The mass of the mother is absolute. She is hundreds of pounds of sleeping power. The cub is nothing next to her, but the cub is part of her. The cub finds the source of the milk. The milk is hot. It is the only wet thing in the dry dark. The cub drinks. The fire in the belly goes out. The cub feels a new weight. It is the weight of being full. The cub sinks into the fur. The mother's breathing continues. It is a deep tide. The hush of the air going in, the hush of the air going out. The den is a small space. The walls are made of frozen soil. The ceiling is low. The mother's body fills most of the room. She has made this place with her claws. She has brought the heat with her. The cub feels the safety of the mass. Nothing can get through the mother. She is the door. She is the wall. She is the world. The cub falls into the same rhythm. Its own breath is a tiny echo. The cub is a small spark in the furnace. The smell of the dirt is comforting now. It is the smell of home. The cub feels the mother's leg move. The leg is a heavy pillar of muscle. It curls around the cub. The cub is tucked into the fold of her body. The heat is everywhere now. It is in the air. It is in the dirt. The winter is long. The cub does not know about the sun. It does not know about the green grass. It only knows the heat and the breath. The mother's body is slowly burning its own fat. The cub is building its own body from the mother's milk. It is a transfer of life. The mother grows thinner in her sleep. The cub grows rounder. The breathing of the mother is the only thing that changes. Sometimes it is a ragged snore. Sometimes it is a silent pause. The cub waits for the next breath. When it comes, the cub is happy. The rise of the mother's side is a mountain growing. The fall of her side is the mountain shrinking. The cub lives on the slope of the mountain. The cub feels the texture of the mother's skin. It is stretched over the ribs. It is a map of the winter. The cub moves its head. It feels the vibration of the mother's throat. She is dreaming. Perhaps she is dreaming of the berries. Perhaps she is dreaming of the river. The cub does not dream. The cub only feels. The darkness is not scary. It is a soft blanket. It is the color of the mother's fur. The cub is a brown bear. It will be a mountain one day. Now it is a pebble. The pebble rests against the mountain. The mountain breathes. The earth stays still. The dry dirt stays under the claws. The heat stays in the hair. The cub sleeps. It is a deep sleep. It is the sleep of the beginning. The world is simple. There is the milk and the heat. There is the dirt and the fur. There is the mother and the cub. The rhythm goes on. The breath goes out. The breath comes in. The winter stays outside. The life stays inside. The cub is a small weight. The mother is the big weight. They wait for the light together. But for now, the dark is enough. It is warm. It is quiet. It is home. The cub feels the mother's heart again. Thud. The silence is long. Thud. The cub matches the heart. It is a small thud. It is a quiet life. The mass of the mother protects the spark. The mountain keeps the pebble warm. The story is just a breath. It is a long breath in the dark. The cub is born. The world is a wall of fur. The world is a mother. The world is good. Outside the snow falls. It covers the whole of the den. It makes the world quiet. The mother does not care. The cub does not care. They are in the heat. They are in the dark. The mother's breath is the wind of the den. The mother's skin is the sun of the den. The cub grows. The mother sleeps. The earth waits. The cub stretches a tiny paw. The claws are soft. They will be hard soon. They will dig the dirt. They will catch the fish. Now they only touch the fur. The fur is the first truth. The heat is the second truth. The cub is the third truth. The mother is the whole truth. The breathing is the song. The dark is the room. The cub is at peace. It has arrived. It is here. It is warm. The claws of the mother hit the ice. The sound is a sharp crack. She has not used her strength like this for months. The wall of the den is a frozen door. She pushes. Her mass is a lever against the soil and the ice. The cub watches the shadow of her back. The mother's muscles bunch under the fur. A small hole appears at the top of the wall. A ray of light hits the dirt. It is the first light the cub has ever seen. It is a white needle. The light cuts through the dark. The mother rips at the ice again. Her claws are long and black. They tear through the frozen layers like iron through wood. The wall of snow falls away. It crashes down the slope outside. The sound is a roar that fades into the distance. The hole is wide now. The air rushes in. It is not the warm air of the den. It is the air of the high peaks. It is thin. It is sharp. The cub breathes it in and feels a sting in the throat. The cold is a physical thing. It is a blade that reaches into the lungs. The mother steps out. She is a huge shape against the white. The cub is left in the shadows for a moment. The cub feels the pull of the light. It is a strange force. The cub moves toward the opening. The paws touch the edge of the den. The dirt ends. The ice begins. The cub steps into the glare. The light is a hammer. It hits the cub's eyes. The cub has spent its whole life in the dark. The sun is too much. The world is a blur of silver and white. The cub blinks. Tears run down the fur of its face. The light is a heavy weight on the eyes. The cub waits. Slowly, the shapes appear. There are the blue shadows. There is the white ground. There is the black rock. The mother is already moving. She is a brown speck on a white sea. She looks back. Her breath is a cloud of steam. The cub tries to follow. The ground is not flat. The den was a level place of dirt. The world outside is a slope. Gravity is a sudden enemy. It pulls at the cub's chest. The cub tries to stand. Its legs are thin. They are like sticks of green wood. They shake under the weight of the cub. The cub takes a step. The snow is deep. It is a cold dust. The cub's paw sinks into the white. The cold bites the skin between the claws. The cub lifts the paw, and the snow clings to it. The weight of the snow makes the leg heavier. The cub takes another step. The back legs slide. The cub falls onto its belly. The snow is a cold shock against the heat of the skin. The mountain is a steep wall. The cub looks down. The slope goes away for a long time. It ends in a valley of dark trees. The cub feels the height. The wind blows across the face of the mountain. It is a heavy wind. It has the mass of the sky behind it. The wind pushes the cub toward the edge. The cub digs its claws into the ice. The ice is hard. It does not give like the dirt. The mother calls. It is a low huff. She is farther down the slope. She moves with a heavy grace. She knows the gravity. She uses her weight to slide. She uses her claws to break. The cub watches her. The cub stands up again. The legs are still shaking. The muscles in the shoulders are tight. The cub is learning the physics of the mountain. The air is full of sound now. The wind hums against the rocks. The snow crunches under the paws. The world is a loud place. The cub feels the vibration of the wind in its ears. It is a constant pressure. The cold air is dry. It sucks the moisture from the cub's nose. The cub licks its nose, and the tongue feels the frost. The cub moves forward. It is a slow crawl. The cub keeps its belly close to the ice. This is the only way to stay on the hill. If the cub stands too high, the wind will take it. The gravity is a constant pull toward the valley. Every step is a fight against the slope. The cub's heart beats fast. It is a small hammer in the chest. The heat of the milk is still there. It is a fuel for the climb. The light starts to change. It is not just white anymore. The sun moves behind a cloud. The world turns gray. The shadows disappear. The cub can see the texture of the snow now. It is a landscape of tiny ridges. The wind has carved the frozen water into waves. The cub follows the tracks of the mother. Her prints are deep basins in the white. The cub steps into one. The walls of the print are higher than the cub's head. It is a small den made of ice. The cub climbs out of the footprint. The legs are getting stronger with every move. The shaking starts to stop. The bones are learning to carry the weight on an angle. The cub finds a patch of black rock. The rock is warm. The sun has been hitting it all morning. The cub puts its paws on the stone. The heat is a memory of the mother's skin. The cub stays there for a moment. The mother waits. She is a solid anchor in the shifting white. She is the center of the cub's world. The cub looks at her. She is the only thing that is not white or blue. She is the color of the earth. She is the color of the home. The cub leaves the warm rock. It moves back into the cold dust. The wind bites again. The cub does not stop. The mountain is vast. The sky is a deep bowl of blue. The cub feels the scale of the world. In the den, the world was the size of the mother. Out here, the world is the size of the sun. The cub is a tiny point on the side of a giant. The gravity is the law of the giant. The cold is the breath of the giant. The cub walks down the hill. The legs are steady now. The cub finds a rhythm. It is the rhythm of the march. One paw goes into the snow. The other paw follows. The weight shifts. The claws catch the ice. The breath goes out in a puff of white. The breath comes in like a drink of ice water. The cub is moving. The mother is leading. The valley is waiting. The wall of the den is far behind. The dark is gone. The heat of the cave is a dream. The cub is a creature of the light now. It is a creature of the wind. The mountain is steep and the air is sharp. The cub is small, but it is heavy. It has the mass of the bear. It has the strength of the mother. The world is open. The cub follows the tracks into the trees. The claws hit the dirt. The sound is a dull thud. The ground is not soft like the snow. It is a hard skin made of old needles and packed soil. The cub pushes. The tip of the claw enters the top layer. The earth resists. It is a wall of friction. The cub pulls his paw back. He leaves 4 small lines in the brown surface. The lines are shallow. They are the marks of a child. The mother is beside him. Her paws are the size of the cub's head. She does not rush. She reaches into the ground. Her claws are long hooks. They sink deep. She pulls. The earth groans. The resistance of the soil is no match for the mass of her shoulder. She moves a large pile of dirt with one swing. The grit flies through the air. The smell comes up then. It is the smell of the deep dark. It is the smell of roots and decay. It is the smell of things that have never seen the sun. The cub tries again. He puts his weight into his front legs. He pushes his claws into the damp soil. The dirt is cold under his nails. It is a grainy pressure. He can feel the individual pebbles. They are small obstacles. They push back against his skin. He pulls. A small clump of earth breaks free. It is a victory of force over the lock of the ground. He looks at the hole. It is a tiny dent. It is not deep enough for a beetle. The cub reaches deeper. His claw hits something hard. It is a stone. The stone is the size of a pine cone. It is anchored by the dirt around it. The cub hooks his claw under the edge of the stone. He pulls. The stone does not move. The friction of the packed earth holds it tight. The cub uses both paws. He tenses the muscles in his back. He feels the vibration of the struggle. The stone is a silent weight. It has the gravity of the mountain in it. The mother watches. She huffs. She shows him the way. She does not just pull. She shifts her weight. She uses the physics of her own body. She leans back. The stone in her path is larger. It is a gray block of granite. She hooks it. She uses her shoulder as a pivot. The rock pops out of the hole. It leaves a raw crater in the earth. The smell of the damp rock is sharp. It is the smell of the iron in the world. The cub mimics her. He shifts his hips. He finds a better angle on his small stone. He pulls with a sudden jerk. The earth gives way. The friction breaks. The stone rolls out of the dirt. It is wet and black. The cub feels the release of the tension. The resistance is gone. The stone is just a thing now. It is no longer part of the wall. The cub pushes it aside. It is heavy, but it moves. The dirt is under his nails now. It is a thick paste. It makes his paws feel heavy. He likes the weight. It is the mark of the work. He reaches for a root. The root is a wire of wood. It is stretched tight through the soil. It holds the earth together. The cub pulls on the root. It stretches. He can feel the tension in his own arm. The root is a spring. It wants to stay in the dark. The cub bites the root. His teeth find the bark. The wood is bitter. It tastes of the rain. The root snaps. The tension dies. The soil around the root falls apart. The cub digs faster. He is learning the rhythm of the resistance. He knows how much force to use. He knows when the dirt will break. The grit is everywhere now. It is in his fur. It is on his nose. The smell of the roots is a thick cloud. It is a sweet and heavy scent. It is the smell of the life that stays still. The cub finds a grub. It is a white curl of fat. It is a prize for the effort. The grub is soft. The dirt was hard. The cub eats the soft thing. The sun is high above the trees. The light does not reach the bottom of the hole. The cub is making his own dark. He is 2 feet into the slope now. The earth is cooler here. The moisture is a thin film on his skin. The physics of the hole are different. The walls want to fall in. The cub pushes the dirt back. He packs it with his palms. He uses the mass of his chest to make the walls solid. He is learning the architecture of the ground. The mother is finished with her work. She has a large pile of tubers. She shares them with the cub. The food is full of the earth. It is crunchy and wet. The cub eats and looks at his paws. The claws are not shiny anymore. They are stained brown. The skin is rough from the friction. The cub feels the strength in his wrists. He is no longer a pink thing in a den. He is a mover of mountains. He is a breaker of stones. The gravity of the slope is still there. But the cub knows how to use it. He digs into the hill. He makes a shelf for himself. He sits in the dirt. The earth is a warm bed. It has the heat of the day trapped in the top layer. The deeper layer has the cold of the winter. The cub rests between the two. He feels the grit under his nails. It is a good feeling. It is the feeling of being part of the world. The mother lies down beside him. Her weight makes the ground shake. She is a vast presence. She has moved tons of earth in her life. She has shaped the mountain to fit her body. The cub closes his eyes. He can still feel the resistance of the dirt in his muscles. His shoulders ache with a dull heat. The ache is a new thing. It is the sound of his body growing. The wind blows over the hole. It carries the scent of the pine trees. The cub does not care about the wind. He cares about the dirt. He cares about the roots. The earth is a puzzle. He has learned the first piece. He knows how to pull. He knows how to push. He knows that the world will move if you have the claws. He knows that the dirt will give if you have the mass. The cub falls asleep in the hole he made. It is his first house. It is a small place. It is a dark place. It smells of the roots and the rain. The mother's breath is the only sound. The cub's paws are tucked under his chin. The dirt stays in the fur. The grit stays under the nails. The mountain is quiet. The cub is home. He has learned the weight of the world. He has learned the force of his own life. The dig is over for today. Tomorrow, the world will be deeper. The vibration comes through the paws first. It is a low hum in the bone. It is not like the wind or the earth. It is the sound of 1,000 stones rolling. It is the sound of the mountain melting. The cub stops at the edge of the grass. The ground here is damp. It is soft and gives way under his weight. Ahead, the water is a moving wall. It is a dark blue muscle that never stops pulling. The mother does not stop. She walks to the edge of the liquid. Her weight makes a splash that stays low. She steps into the stream. The water hits her legs and breaks. It turns into a white foam. She is a solid thing in the middle of the rush. The current pushes against her side. It has the mass of a falling tree. But she is heavier. She leans into the flow. She uses the physics of her bulk to stay still. The cub watches the water. It looks like glass that is always breaking. He takes a step. The first touch is a shock. The cold is a needle. It goes through the fur and hits the skin. It is a deep cold that does not fade. The cub lifts his paw. The water clings to his hair. It is heavier than the air. He puts the paw down again. The bottom is made of round stones. They are covered in a thin slime. The friction is gone. The paw slides. The cub moves deeper. Now the water is at his chest. He feels the pressure. It is a constant shove. The river wants to turn him into a leaf. It wants to lift him off the stones. The cub tenses his shoulders. He digs his claws into the gaps between the rocks. He can feel the weight of the river pushing against his ribs. It makes it hard to breathe. The water is a thick hand that never lets go. The mother huffs. She is in the middle of the deep part. The water is at her belly. She stands like a statue of stone. The current flows around her and makes a V of white wake. The cub tries to reach her. He moves one leg at a time. He has to lift the leg through the water. The resistance is high. It is like walking through the dirt, but the dirt is moving. He feels the drag on every hair. The stones move under him. A small rock rolls away. The cub loses his balance. For a second, the gravity of the mountain is gone. The river takes his weight. He is a bobber in the foam. He feels the panic of the lift. He pushes down with all his might. His claws find a large flat stone. He holds on. The pressure of the current tries to peel him off the rock. He waits. He finds his center. He stands again. The mother is watching the surface. Her eyes are fixed on the silver light. The cub looks down, too. The water is clear, but it moves so fast the bottom is a blur. Then he sees it, a flash of silver. It is a fish. The fish is the shape of a blade. It moves against the current. The fish does not fight the water. It uses the water. It is a master of the pressure. The mother moves. She is faster than the eye can see. She brings her paw down. The sound is like a crack of thunder. She hits the surface with the flat of her hand. The displacement is huge. A wall of water flies into the air. The cub is hit by the spray. The water is heavy. It knocks him back an inch. When the spray falls, the mother has the fish. The fish is a frantic muscle. It twists in her teeth. The silver scales are like mirrors. The cub reaches for the fish. The mother drops it on a flat rock in the shallows. The cub tries to catch it. The fish is slippery. It has no fur for the claws to grip. It is covered in a slick oil. The cub pushes his paw down. The fish slides away. It is like trying to hold a piece of ice. The cub learns the trick. He does not try to grab. He tries to pin. He uses the weight of his whole arm. He presses the fish against the stone. He can feel the vibration of the life in the fish. It is a fast thrum. He bites. The scales crunch. The taste is the taste of the cold and the deep. It is the first time he has eaten the river. The current continues to pull. The cub is getting tired. The cold has reached his bones. The muscles in his legs are shaking from the fight against the drag. The river is a tireless enemy. It does not get tired. It does not stop. The cub moves back toward the bank. He has to walk across the slope of the riverbed. Gravity pulls him down. The water pulls him away. He moves slowly. The mother follows. She moves through the water with no effort. She has the mass to ignore the pressure. She reaches the grass and shakes. The water flies off her in a great cloud. She looks twice as big for a second. Then she is small again. The cub reaches the shore. He steps onto the soft dirt. The world is stable again. The vibration of the water is still in his paws, but the ground does not move. The cub tries to shake. He is heavy with the liquid. The water is trapped in his thick coat. It weighs twice as much as it did when it was in the river. He shakes his head. He shakes his back. The water sprays the trees. He feels the weight leave his fur. The air hits his skin again. It feels warm now. The sun is a friend. The mother lies down in the sun. The cub curls against her. He can hear the river behind them. It is a loud roar in the valley. It is a giant that stays in its bed. The cub looks at his paws. They are clean. The grit from the digging is gone. The river has washed him. He feels the strength of the water still in his memory. He knows the weight of the flow. He knows the slide of the stone. The sun dries the fur. The cub feels the return of the heat. The river is a cold dream now. He watches the silver flashes in the distance. The fish are still there. The water is still moving. The world is a balance of the hard earth and the heavy water. The cub has survived both. He closes his eyes. The hum of the river is his lullaby. The mountain is still. The bear is growing. The mother stops and stands perfectly still. She is a statue made of fur and bone. Her nose is in the air. She is reading the wind. The cub was walking behind her. He bumps into her heavy leg. He looks up. Her ears are flat against her head. Her body is a tight spring. The air around them has changed. It was light and smelled of the river. Now it is heavy. It smells of old blood and musk. It is the smell of a giant. The cub feels a vibration. It is not the hum of the river. It is a deeper thing. It is a low rumble that comes from the tall grass. The grass is a sea of yellow. Something moves in the stalks. It is a massive shadow. The shadow is bigger than the mother. It moves with a slow power. The cub feels the weight of the fear. It sits on his chest like a stone. His breath is short. He wants to run, but his legs are like lead. The mother huffs. It is a sharp command. She nudges the cub with her nose. She pushes him toward a thick patch of brush. The cub crawls into the dark of the leaves. He hides under the roots. He stays low to the ground. The dirt is cool, but the air is hot. The cub watches through the twigs. He sees the mother turn. She steps between the cub and the grass. She is a wall of muscle. She is the shield. The male bear comes out of the grass. He is a mountain of dark fur. His head is broad. His shoulders rise like hills. Every step he takes makes the earth shiver. The cub feels the impact in his belly. The male is not looking for the mother. He is looking for the cub. He stops 20 feet away. He opens his mouth. A sound comes out. It is not a roar. It is a rumble that lives in the bottom of his throat. The vibration of the rumble is a physical force. It travels through the air. It hits the cub's skin. The sound makes the leaves of the brush shake. It is a frequency that tells the world to move. The male bear stands on his back legs. He is 10 feet of shadow. He blocks the sun. The light goes out in the clearing. There is only the male and the mother. The tension between them is a wire stretched until it hums. The mother does not back down. She stands on all 4 legs. She makes herself wide. She drops her head. Her fur stands up. She looks twice as big as she did in the den. She is a solid block of anger. She makes a sound of her own. It is a high snarl. It cuts through the male's low rumble. It is the sound of a mother who will die. The physics of her body change. She is no longer a sleeper. She is a weapon. The male bear drops back to the ground. The thud is like a tree falling. The dust rises around his paws. He moves closer. He is testing the wall. He wants to see if the mother will break. She does not blink. She does not shift her weight. She is anchored to the mountain. The gravity of her love is stronger than the mass of the male. The cub watches the mother's back. He sees the skin twitch over her ribs. She is ready to strike. The air is electric now. The static of the fear makes the cub's hair stand up. The male bear turns his head. He looks at the brush where the cub is hiding. The cub feels the gaze. It is a cold wind. The cub stays very still. He does not breathe. He is a small rock in the shadow of the roots. He tries to be the dirt. He tries to be the wood. He wants the male to forget he exists. The male bear huffs. He swings his heavy head. He is thinking, the mother is a dangerous fight. She has the position. She has the will. The male is looking for an easy meal. He is not looking for a war. The rumble in his chest slows down. The vibration fades. He takes a step to the side. He is moving along the edge of the clearing. The mother follows him with her eyes. She turns her body to stay between him and the cub. The male walks into the trees. His mass disappears into the green. The sound of his footsteps gets quieter. The earth stops shaking, but the mother does not move yet. She stays in her pose. She is the wall until the wind says the threat is gone. She waits for several minutes. The birds start to sing again. The insects return to the grass. The world returns to its normal weight. The mother relaxes. Her ears come forward. Her muscles go soft. She turns to the brush. She makes a soft sound in her throat. It is a call for the cub. The cub crawls out from the roots. He is covered in dirt and old leaves. His legs are still shaking. The weight of the fear is gone, but his heart is still fast. He runs to the mother. He hides under her belly. The heat of her skin is the best thing in the world. The mother licks the cub's head. Her tongue is rough. It is like the bark of a tree. She is cleaning the smell of the fear away. She is putting her own smell back on him. They stay in the clearing for a long time. They do not move toward the grass. They stay near the trees. The mother is watchful. She knows the male is still on the mountain. She knows the world is a place of shadows. The cub looks at the grass where the male was. He remembers the rumble. He remembers the way the earth felt under the male's paws. He understands a new truth now. There are things in the world that are bigger than him. There are things that want to take his life. But he also knows the mother is the wall. He knows that mass is not just about size. It is about the force of the protector. The sun comes out from behind a cloud. The light is warm again. The silver flash of the river is visible in the distance. The cub follows the mother away from the clearing. They walk uphill. They find a high place with a good view. The mother sits. She watches the valley. The cub sits between her paws. He is a small weight on the big mountain. The air is clear now. The smell of the giant is fading. The cub feels the strength of the mother's legs around him. She is the house. She is the world. The encounter has changed the cub. He is more quiet now. He listens to the vibrations of the ground. He watches the movement of the grass. He is learning the physics of the predator. He is learning how to be a bear. The mother closes her eyes for a second. The tension is gone from her face. She has won the fight without a blow. She has used her mass and her spirit to keep the light in the cub's eyes. The cub leans his head against her chest. He can hear her heart. It is a slow and steady thud. It is the drum of the mountain. It is the sound of the safe dark. Night starts to fall. The shadows grow long. The cub is not afraid of the shadows now. He knows which ones are trees. He knows which ones are rocks. He knows the mother will tell him if the shadow moves. They find a new place to sleep. It is a high ridge under a cliff. The mother lies down. The cub curls into her fur. The mountain is quiet. The bear is growing. The wall is standing. The scent of the mother is a fading ghost. It is a thin line in the pine needles. The bear walks away from the last trace of her musk. He does not look back. The distance between them is a physical gap that grows with every step. The world is no longer shared. The air is his own air. The path is his own path. His paws hit the soft earth of the timber. The moss is a damp carpet that swallows the sound of his claws. He is a moving mountain of 200 kilos. The shoulders are the engine of his walk. They rise and fall with a heavy rhythm. The muscle is a thick layer under the fur. It shifts like a tide. When the left paw reaches forward, the shoulder blade slides under the skin. The weight of his chest follows. Then the right side repeats the motion. It is a sway that never stops. It is the dance of the brown bear. The mass of his body is a force that he carries through the trees. He feels the gravity in his joints. He feels the power in his stride. The timber is deep. The trees are old pillars of cedar and hemlock. They block the light of the sun. The world is a room of green shadows. The bear moves through the silence. The silence is a new thing. It is a heavy blanket that sits on the forest. Before there was always the sound of the mother. There was her breath. There was the snap of the twigs under her feet. Now there is only the wind in the needles. The bear listens to his own heartbeat. It is a slow thud. It is the only clock in the woods. He comes to a fallen log. It is a giant tree that died 100 years ago. The wood is red and soft with rot. The bear stops. He looks at the obstacle. In the past, he would wait for the mother to lead. He would watch her jump. He would follow her path. Now the choice belongs to him. He looks left. He looks right. The choice is a weight in his head. He decides to go over the center. He lifts a front paw. The muscle in his forearm tenses. The claws find a grip in the bark. He pulls his mass upward. The physics of the climb are simple. He must lift the 200 kilo against the pull of the earth. He feels the strain in his back. His shoulders bunch together. He heaves his chest over the top of the log. The wood crumbles under his weight. The smell of the rot is sharp. It is the smell of the forest eating itself. He drops down on the other side. The impact makes the ground shiver. He is on the new side of the log. He has made his own way. The forest feels heavier now. It is not just the trees. It is the responsibility. Every turn is a decision. Every smell is a question. He finds a stream. The water is a thin ribbon of silver. It is shallow and clear. The bear steps into the flow. The cold is a familiar bite. He feels the pressure of the water against his ankles. It is a small force compared to the river. He looks for the fish. There are no silver flashes here. He moves to the other bank. His fur is wet and heavy. The water drips from his belly and makes circles in the dirt. He is hungry. The hunger is a quiet animal in his gut. He finds a patch of berry bushes. They are low to the ground. The leaves are a bright green. He uses his lips to pluck the fruit. The berries are sweet and tart. They are small bursts of energy. He eats until his mouth is stained purple. He feels the sugar enter his blood. He feels the strength return to his legs. He moves on. He is looking for a place to rest. The sun starts to go down. The shadows of the trees grow long and thin. They reach across the forest floor like fingers. The bear finds a high ridge. He can see the valley from here. He can see the distant peaks of the mountains. The world is vast. It is a sea of green and gray. The bear feels his own smallness. He is a single point in the landscape, but he is a heavy point. He is a solid point. He sits on the rock. The stone is cold. The wind picks up. It carries the scent of the rain. It carries the scent of the distant pines. The bear breathes it in. He does not smell the mother. He does not smell the male bear. He smells only the earth. The silence is no longer scary. It is a space for him to grow. He is the master of the silence. He is the owner of the dark. The weight of the forest is a comfort now. It is a wall that protects him. It is a roof that covers him. He finds a hollow under the roots of an upturned tree. The dirt is dry and soft. He digs a small bed. He uses his claws to turn the soil. The friction of the dirt is a good feeling. It is the work of the bear. He turns around 3 times. He settles his mass into the hole. He feels the support of the earth. The gravity is his friend now. It holds him in the bed. It keeps him safe. His breathing slows down. It is a deep and steady ebb. The sway of the walk is gone, but the rhythm stays in his mind. He is a bear starting life alone. The mother is a memory of heat. The den is a memory of the dark. The world is a reality of muscle and wood. He closes his eyes. The forest stays quiet. The stars come out above the timber. The bear is a 200-kilo weight in the middle of the night. He dreams of the river. He dreams of the silver fish. He dreams of the mountain slope. In his dream, he is walking. His shoulders are swaying. The muscle is shifting. He is moving through the trees with no one to follow. He is his own leader. He is his own path. The choices are his. The life is his. The bear sleeps. The forest waits for the morning. The bear will be ready. The mountain will be his. His paws will hit the dirt, and the world will know he is there. The paws reach up. They hook the thin wood of the branch. The bear pulls. The branch bends under the force of the arm. It is a slow arc of green wood. Berries hang in clusters of red and black. The bear brings the branch to his mouth. He uses his lips to pluck the fruit. The berries are warm from the sun. They pop against his tongue. The juice is a thick syrup that tastes of the light. The bear chews slowly. His jaw moves in a steady circle. The sound is a wet crunch in the quiet of the afternoon. The sun is a heavy lamp in the sky. It has no wind to fight today. The heat is a solid thing. It sinks into the thick brown coat. The hair is a trap for the warmth. The bear feels the surface of his back getting hot. The heat travels down. It goes through the long guard hairs. It goes through the soft underfur. It reaches the skin. The skin is a warm sheet over the muscle. The bear does not mind. The heat is the energy of the summer. It makes the berries grow. It makes the bear slow. The bear is getting heavy. The lean days of the spring are a memory. The muscle is still there, but it is covered now. A layer of fat is growing between the skin and the bone. It is a soft weight. It moves when the bear moves. When he walks, the fat sways under the fur. It is the fuel for the winter. It is the bank of the bear. He is storing the sun in his own body. The fat is soft and warm. It makes his body feel like a big pillow. He feels the gravity more than he did before. The 200 kilos has become 250 kilos. The earth feels the difference. He moves to the next bush. He does not rush. Every move costs energy in the heat. He lifts a paw, and the fat on his shoulder shifts. It is a heavy slide of tissue. He puts the paw down, and the grass flattens. He is a mover of the world. He finds a patch of blueberries. These are smaller and sweeter. He sits down in the middle of the patch. His bottom sinks into the dirt. The dirt is dry and dusty. The heat has sucked the water out of the ground. The bear spends the day in the bushes. He is a machine of eating. His stomach is a large bag that is always full. He can feel the weight of the fruit inside him. It is a comfortable pressure. He reaches for another branch. The leaves brush against his face. They are dusty and dry. The smell of the fruit is everywhere. It is a sweet and heavy cloud. It is the smell of the summer. The bear breathes it in. His nose is wet and black. It twitches at every new scent. The chewing is the rhythm of the day. Grind, swallow, reach. The bear is in a trance of food. His eyes are half closed. The light is too bright to look at directly. The world is a blur of green and gold. The only thing that matters is the next berry, the next burst of sugar. He feels the sugar enter his blood. It makes him sleepy. The heat and the sugar are a powerful mix. They turn the bear into a lazy giant. He feels the body getting soft. In the spring, his ribs were like a fence. Now the fence is gone. His sides are smooth. His belly is a round mound. It brushes the tops of the flowers when he stands. The physics of his body have changed. He has more inertia now. It takes more force to start moving. It takes more force to stop. He likes the momentum. He likes being a heavy thing. The mass is a protection. The mass is a promise that he will wake up in the spring. The insects hum in the heat. A fly lands on the bear's ear. The bear flickers the skin. The fly moves. The bear does not care. He has the thick fur to protect him. The heat makes the air shimmer over the grass. The trees in the distance look like they are underwater. The bear stays in the shade of the berry bushes. The shade is only a little cooler than the sun. The heat is everywhere. It is in the wood. It is in the dirt. It is in the bear's own breath. He finds a patch of raspberries. They are soft and red. They fall apart the moment he touches them. He licks his paws. The fur is stained a deep purple. He looks like he has been in a fight, but the blood is only juice. He chews on a leaf by accident. It is bitter and green. He spits it out. He only wants the sweet. He only wants the fat. The world is a garden, and he is the king. The afternoon goes on forever. The sun stays high. The bear moves 5 feet to the left. He finds a new branch. It is loaded with fruit. The weight of the berries makes the branch hang low. It is easy for the bear to reach. He pulls it down. The wood groans. He eats every single berry on the stem. He leaves the branch bare. He is a harvester of the mountain. His legs feel heavy. The muscles are warm and loose. The fat around his joints makes his movement smooth. He feels like he is floating in a sea of heat. He is a 200 bubble of life. The world is a lazy place. The birds are quiet. The squirrels are hiding in the dark of the trees. Only the bear is out in the light. He has the coat to handle the sun. He has the stomach to handle the feast. The bear looks at his paws. They are big and wide. They are the tools of his life. He sees a small beetle crawling on a stone. The beetle is a tiny point of black. The bear is a mountain of brown. They both live in the heat. They both look for the sweet. The bear lets the beetle pass. He is too full to be mean. He is too heavy to be fast. He is at peace with the world. The sugar makes him yawn. He opens his mouth wide. His teeth are white and sharp. They are the tools for the hunt, but today they are the tools for the fruit. He sees the sun starting to dip. The light turns from white to orange. The heat stays. The rocks are still radiating the warmth of the day. The bear finds a spot under a large cedar tree. The ground is covered in soft needles. He turns around in a circle. He feels the fat on his hips rub together. It is a thick and heavy sensation. He lies down on his side. The belly spills out onto the needles. He is a huge shape in the shadows. He sighs. The air leaves his lungs in a long hiss. He is full. He is heavy. He is soft. The summer is a good time to be a bear. The work of the day is done. The work of the eating is finished for now. The bear closes his eyes. He can still taste the berries. He can still feel the sun on his coat. The rhythm of his breathing matches the hum of the insects. The mass of his body is a comfort. He is a mountain that has been fed. The mountain is going to sleep. The heat of the day stays with him in the fur. The fat stays with him under the skin. The bear is growing. The summer is long. The world is sweet. The scent of the caribou hits the bear's nose. It is a sharp and musky line in the cold air. It is the smell of salt and old grass and moving life. The bear stops. His head swings slowly from side to side. The mountain is quiet in the autumn. The berries are gone. The heat of the summer has been replaced by a thin frost that covers the rocks. The bear is a giant now. The summer fat has settled into a thick armor. Underneath the fat, the muscles are tight and heavy. He is 600 kilograms of power. He moves into the dead leaves. The leaves are a carpet of red and gold. They are dry and brittle. A smaller animal would make a sound like a fire. But the bear is a ghost of power. He knows how to distribute his mass. He lifts a paw and places it with the care of a cat. He avoids the dry twigs. He avoids the loose stones. The 600-kilo shifts from the left to the right in a slow and silent sway. His shoulders rise and fall like the waves of a dark sea. The air is crisp. It does not carry the sound of his breath. The caribou is 300 feet away. It is a male with wide antlers. It is grazing on the last of the green moss near a stream. The caribou is light. It is built for the flight. Its legs are thin and springy. Its ears are always moving. The bear watches from the edge of the timber. He is a shadow among the trunks. He feels the patience in his bones. The weight is a physical weight. His heart rate drops. His body becomes a cold machine. He is waiting for the physics of the moment to be right. The wind is in his favor. It blows from the caribou to the bear. It carries the news of the prey. It hides the smell of the predator. The bear moves closer. He is a mountain that is crawling. He keeps his belly near the dirt. He uses the bushes as a screen. Every step is a calculation of force. He does not want to break the silence. The silence is his greatest tool. He reaches the edge of the clearing. The distance is now 100 feet. The caribou lifts its head. It feels a change in the world. It does not see the bear. It does not hear the bear, but the air feels heavy. The caribou is tense. It is ready to turn the potential energy of its muscles into a sprint. The bear sees the caribou tensing. He knows the time has come. The patience ends. The explosion begins. The bear pushes off the ground. The earth breaks under his back paws. The dirt is thrown 10 feet into the air. The silence is gone. It is replaced by the thud of 600 kilos of muscle hitting the ground. The sound is a deep beat. Thud, thud, thud. It is the sound of a hammer hitting the world. The bear is no longer a ghost. He is a comet of brown fur. The velocity is sudden. The inertia of his massive body is a terrifying force. Every stride is a demonstration of power. When his front paws hit the earth, the vibration travels through the soil. The caribou turns to run. It is fast. It is light. But the bear has the momentum of a falling cliff. The 600 kilos is moving at a speed that does not seem possible. Shoulders are a blur of motion. The back arches and snaps like a giant spring. The bear is closing the gap. The distance shrinks. 50 feet, 30 feet. The caribou reaches the stream. It tries to jump, but the bear is there. He does not jump. He collides. The impact is a raw display of physics. The mass of the bear hits the side of the caribou. It is a collision of 600 kilos against 150 kilos. The force is absolute. The caribou is lifted off its feet. The sound of the impact is a wet crack. The momentum of the bear carries them both into the water. The stream explodes. A wall of water and foam rises into the air. The stones on the bottom are crushed under the weight. The bear uses his mass to pin the caribou. He is a heavy anchor in the rushing water. The struggle is short. The power of the bear's neck is a lever that cannot be broken. He bites. The hunt is over. The silence returns to the mountain. But it is a different silence now. It is the silence of the victor. The bear stands up in the stream. The water runs off his coat. He is breathing hard. His lungs are like bellows. The air comes out in thick clouds of steam. He looks at his prey. The caribou is a still shape in the current. The bear has won. He has used his mass and his speed to master the mountain. He is the king of the autumn. The energy of the caribou will become the fat for his winter sleep. He hooks his claws into the caribou. He begins the walk back to the timber. He has to pull the weight of the prey through the water. The resistance is high, but he does not care. His muscles are warm and full of blood. He reaches the bank. He drags the caribou onto the dead leaves. The trail is a dark line in the gold. The bear finds a place under the heavy branches of a spruce tree. The world is getting dark. The sun is a sliver of orange on the horizon. The cold is returning. The frost is growing on the needles of the trees. The bear begins to eat. He eats with a slow and steady rhythm. He is a machine of consumption. Every bite is a promise of survival. The fat on his back is thick. The fat on his ribs is deep. He is a 600-kilo wall against the coming ice. He feels the weight of the day in his limbs. The sprint has cost him energy, but the reward is greater. His body is a furnace that is burning the kill. He feels the heat returning to his skin. The silence of the forest is a comfort. He is alone, but he is not lonely. He is the master of his own life. The mountain belongs to him. The trees belong to him. The dark belongs to him. The bear finishes his meal for the night. He buries the rest of the caribou under the dirt and the leaves. He will return in the morning. He moves to a high spot on the ridge. He sits and looks at the valley. The wind blows through his fur. It does not make him cold. He is too heavy for the cold. He is too full for the wind. He is a mountain that is sitting on a mountain. The stars come out. They are bright and hard in the autumn sky. The bear closes his eyes. He hears the thud of his own heart. It is the only sound left. The hunt is finished. The winter is coming. The bear is ready. He has the mass. He has the power. He has the mountain. He is a brown bear, and the world is his. The bear's belly drags across a cold stone. It is a heavy sound. It is the sound of skin and fur and fat pulling over the granite. He is at his largest weight now. The 600 kilos of the autumn has become a thick and rounded mass. The fat is a layer of fuel that wraps around his ribs. It hangs low from his chest. When he moves, the fat sways from side to side. It has its own momentum. It is a separate weight that he must carry. The stone is flat and gray. The cold of the rock goes through the fur. It is a reminder that the world is changing. The bear does not look at the sky. He looks at the ground. His eyes are heavy. He begins to walk up the hill. The slope is steep. It is a wall of dirt and rock that leads to the high peaks. Gravity is a constant hand that pulls at his back. Every step is a fight against the earth. He lifts his front paw. The muscle in his shoulder has to work harder than ever before. The mass of the fat resists the lift. It is a drag that wants to keep him in the valley. He puts the paw down. The claws find a grip in the frozen soil. He pushes. His back legs take the strain. The joints in his hips feel the pressure of the 700 kilo. He moves forward only a few inches. The bear is tired. His breath is a slow and heavy puff of white. The air is thin on the ridge. He can feel his heart beating. It is a slow thump in the center of his chest. It has to push the blood through the thick layers of his body. The body is getting slow. The energy of the summer is gone. The heat of the caribou is gone. The bear is a machine that is running out of fire. He needs to find the dark. He needs to find the silence. He remembers the old cave in the rocks. It is a place of his own. It is a hole in the mountain that fits his mass. The drag is everywhere. The fur of his legs brushes against the dry grass. The sound is like a hiss. The grass pulls at him. The bushes pull at him. The very air feels like it has weight. He moves through a patch of deep snow. The snow is a cold trap. His belly sinks into the white. He has to use his chest to plow the way. The resistance of the snow is a heavy force. It is like walking through water, but the water is made of ice. He heaves his body forward. His shoulders rise and fall in a slow and tired rhythm. He is a mountain of brown fur moving through a world of white. He stops to rest. He stands on a narrow ledge. The mountain drops away below him. He can see the timber where he spent the summer. It is far away now. It is a dark green smudge in the distance. The bear feels the height. The wind is a sharp blade that cuts at his face. It wants to push him off the ledge. He lowers his center of gravity. He spreads his paws wide. He uses his mass to anchor himself to the stone. The inertia of his body is his protection. He is too heavy for the wind to take. His eyelids are like lead. They want to close. They want to stay closed. The sleep is a heavy tide that is rising in his brain. He shakes his head. He cannot sleep here. He must reach the cave. He looks up the slope. The rocks are black and jagged. The cave is near the top. It is a small crack in the face of the cliff. He starts to climb again. The legs are working against the mass of the fat. They are like pillars of stone that are starting to crack. The muscles are hot. The bones are aching. He reaches the base of the cliff. The ground is made of loose shale. The stones are flat and sharp. They slide under his weight. Every time he takes a step, the ground moves down. The gravity takes the stones and pulls them toward the valley. The bear has to be fast. He has to move before the world moves under him. He lunges. He uses the explosion of his power one last time. The 700 kilos of muscle and fat hits the solid rock above the shale. The impact makes his teeth rattle. But he is there. He is at the door. The cave is a dark mouth in the cliff. It is small. It is not a place for a giant. But the bear knows the physics of the cave. He knows that a small space holds the heat. He knows that a tight fit keeps the winter out. He reaches the entrance. The scent of the old den is still there. It is the smell of the dry dirt and the old sleep. It is the smell of safety. The bear enters. The walls are cold. They touch his sides. He has to squeeze his mass into the hole. The drag of the rock is a familiar feeling. He pushes his shoulders through. He pulls his hips after them. He is a plug of fur in the throat of the mountain. He reaches the inner room. It is a small circle of dirt. It is quiet. The sound of the wind is a distant hum. The sound of the world is gone. The bear turns around in a slow circle. His belly brushes the walls. His back brushes the ceiling. He is a perfect fit for the space. He begins to dig. He does not need to dig deep. He only needs to move the dirt to make a hollow for his hips. The claws hit the floor. The sound is a dull scrape. He moves the soil with his paws. The friction is a comfort. He makes a bed of the mountain. He feels the fatigue in his neck. He feels the weight of his own head. He lies down. The gravity is a friend now. It pulls him into the dirt. It holds him in the cradle of the rock. The bear sighs. The air leaves his lungs in a long and slow hiss. It is the last big breath of the year. His heart rate drops. The thud becomes a quiet tap. The blood moves slower. The heat of his body stays inside the fat. The fat is the blanket. The fat is the walls. The bear is a closed system. He is a world of his own. His eyes close. The lead lids stay down. The mountain stays still. The winter comes to the cliff. The snow covers the entrance to the cave. It makes the world quiet. It makes the bear invisible. Inside the dark, the bear is a heavy pulse. He is a 700-kilo secret. The gravity holds him. The drag is gone. There is only the sleep. The bear is a brown bear, and the winter is his time to be the mountain. He is still. He is deep. He is home. The claws scrape the dirt floor of the den. It is a dry and rhythmic sound. The bear moves the soil with a slow and heavy motion. He is not digging for food. He is not digging for a path. He is shaping the mountain to fit his bulk. The dirt is cold and packed tight. Every scrape of the nail creates a small pile of gray dust. The bear uses his palms to push the dust into a ring. He is building a nest of earth. He turns in a slow circle. The 700 kilos of his body is a heavy weight that presses the dirt into a smooth bowl. The bowl is deep. It is wide. It is exactly the size of his life. The friction of the digging is the last heat he will make with his muscles. He stops. The silence of the den is absolute. The air does not move. The bear stands in the center of the bowl. He feels the gravity of the mountain. It is a pull that goes deep into the stone. He lowers his front half. His elbows hit the dirt. Then he lowers his back half. The fat of his hips settles into the curve of the earth. He is no longer a creature of the wind or the river. He is a creature of the ground. He begins to curl. He is a giant, but he knows how to become small. He tucks his head toward his chest. He pulls his back legs into the soft mound of his belly. He wraps his front paws around his nose. He is a tight ball of brown fur. The physics of the ball are perfect. It is the shape that holds the most heat. It is the shape that hides the most life. His thick coat is a wall. The heat of his core stays inside the circle of his limbs. He feels the soft pressure of his own fur against his face. It is a warm and familiar blanket. The stillness begins. It is not just the lack of movement. It is a change in the rhythm of the world. Outside, the wind is a fast and jagged force. Inside the bear, the world is slowing down. His breathing is the first thing to change. In the autumn, it was a fast and hot steam. Now, it is a quiet sigh. The lungs do not need much air. They expand only a few inches. They contract with a tiny hiss. The oxygen moves slowly through the tubes of his chest. The air stays in the lungs for a long time. It gives up its life to the blood. The blood carries it to the brain. The rest of the body is waiting. The heartbeat follows the breath. It was a drum during the hunt. It was a steady thud during the walk. Now it is a very slow and distant beat. Thud. The silence lasts for many seconds. The blood stays still in the veins. Thud. The valve opens and closes with a heavy click. The heart is a machine that is idling. It is a clock that ticks only a few times a minute. The bear feels the beat in his ears. It is a low and heavy vibration. It is the only sound in the dark. The beat is the anchor. It is the thread that keeps him connected to the living world. The body is turning into part of the stone. The bear does not feel the ache of his muscles anymore. The tension is gone. The fat is a steady fuel. It burns with a slow and cold flame. It does not make the bear move. It only keeps the center of his brain warm. The limbs are getting cold. The paws are the temperature of the dirt. The mountain takes him in. The walls of the den are no longer a cage. They are a shell. The bear feels the weight of the cliff above him. He feels the tons of granite and ice that sit on the ceiling. The weight is a comfort. It is a shield. The world can scream and freeze and break. The bear will not know. He is under the skin of the earth. He is in the secret room of the peak. The gravity holds him in the center of the bowl. The bowl holds him in the center of the mountain. The breath becomes even more shallow. It is a ghost of a movement. The bear's nose is tucked deep into his fur. The air he breathes is the air he has warmed with his own skin. He is a closed loop. He is a circle that never ends. The energy of the summer berries is still there. The power of the autumn caribou is still there. They are stored in the white layers of the fat. They are the wood for the long fire of the winter. The bear is a furnace that is turned down to a glow. The rhythm is almost gone. The gap between the heartbeats grows longer. The gap between the breaths grows wider. The bear is entering the deep dark. He is leaving the world of time. For the next 5 months, there will be no morning. There will be no evening. There will be only the long and gray now. The stillness is total. The bear is a 700-kilo statue. He is a monument to the weight. His brain is a quiet room. The memories of the river are fading. The memories of the mother are fading. There is only the heat and the dark. The mountain breathes for him. The stone vibrates with the wind. The bear feels the mountain song in his bones. He is part of the cliff. He is part of the ridge. He is the spirit of the frozen peak. His body is solid. His mind is soft. He is the transition between the living and the dead. He is a bear, but he is also the earth. He is the brown heart of the winter. The sleep begins. It is not a dream. It is a deep and heavy void. It is the color of the dirt floor. It is the weight of the granite roof. It is the silence of the falling snow. The bear is gone into the dark. He is tucked. He is still. He is slow. The world goes on without him. The stars turn above the den. The ice grows over the crack in the rock. The mountain is the master. The bear is the guest. The long night is here. The 700 kilo is still. The heartbeat is a whisper. The sleep is the truth.